All right, welcome to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel, your go-to place for non-staff, non-biased, multi-style reviews. My name is Chris, and I'm here to bring the high-rev perspective.
And my name is Josh, and I will be bringing the low-rev perspective.
All right, today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new DV8 Dark Side, and I'm going to be comparing it to the Phase AI and the Piranha Power Core Pro.
And I will be comparing it to the Brunswick Ivory Rhino Pro and the Brunswick Melee Jab Carbon. These reviews will give us and you an idea of what these rocks look like going down the lane. At the end, we will give our unbiased review anywhere from nuts to trash. So make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you out on the lanes.
All right, I just finished up throwing the DV8 Dark Side. Now the first couple of shots that I threw with this one, it seemed like it was really weak and I really needed to keep my angles in front of me. But I feel like that was just kind of the first couple of shots out of the box. The more I threw it, I feel like the more down lane and more angular it wanted to be. So I had to make a couple zone changes to the left. And it was angular, but it wasn't super sharp off the end of the pattern to where it was like super uncontrollable. But I did see a couple times where I missed in the oil and it didn't really want to change directions. But when I got it to the friction, it was smooth enough off of it that it wasn't too angular. I really liked that kind of like ball motion off the end of the pattern when I got it there. So now we're going to go ahead and compare that to the Phase AI. All right, after seeing the Phase AI go down the lane compared to the Dark Side, I feel like it's a step up. This one is definitely a little sooner than the Dark Side was. I think it more overall, see it a little bit earlier and a little bit more forward through the pins than the Dark Side was. I think they actually have fairly similar shapes off the end of the pattern, but I think the Phase AI just sees it just a little bit sooner. Now we're going to go ahead and compare it to the Piranha Power Core Pro. All right, after seeing the Piranha go down the lane, I think these are very similar. I think the Piranha maybe is just a little bit more down lane and a hair more angular than the Dark Side is. I think both of them are pretty forward through the pins, and so in that way they're very similar, but I think the Piranha, you can get a little bit more shape to it. It's a little quicker to the friction, so you might have to move just a little bit further to the left to make it shape a little bit better. But overall, they're very similar. All right, final thoughts on the DV8 Dark Side. Personally, I feel like I would throw this more on maybe a little lighter volume patterns. I feel like it has kind of that lower end kind of ball reaction where you need a little bit more friction to get the ball to shape the right way. I think if there's just a little too much oil, it's never really going to want to slow down and see the pattern the right way. So for me, I'm going to have to give this one a meh. I think on, like I said, a little bit lighter volumes, this could be a fire. It would just need to be one of those balls that you go to at kind of the end of blocks and maybe the end of league, where you kind of see that cliff and you need a ball that doesn't change the directions as much as like a really high performing bowling ball.
Just finished throwing 10 shots with the DV8 Dark Side. This ball really shocked me. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this ball just looking at the numbers, but it was super smooth, and even though it's designed for the two-handed approach, I actually loved the shape of it. I felt like it reminded me of my Melee Carbon, which I will be comparing in this video later, but it gave me the smooth shape through the fronts while still being continuous down lane. I thought it was going to be a lot cleaner, a lot whippier to friction, and it blended the lane out way more than I thought it was going to. So really liked the shape of it. So now we're going to go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Ivory Rhino Pro and see how it compares. Just threw 5 shots with the Ivory Rhino Pro. This ball for me, I see it being a little cleaner than the Dark Side and being just a little quicker to friction. I feel like the Dark Side was able to blend the cliff out a little better, where this ball just, again, was a little too what I call all or nothing ball reaction. It either wants to see the friction and go sideways, or if it doesn't get there, it just kind of, poops down lane and doesn't really want to get off that spot. So now we're going to go ahead and throw 5 shots with that melee jab carbon and see how it compares. Just threw 5 shots with the Brunswick melee jab carbon. This ball is a little old, so overall it doesn't hook over as much as the other two, but it still gave me a fairly similar shape to the Dark Side. I want to say it was just a hair weaker, but like when it was new, I can see them being almost exactly the same. I just hit it with this melee with more surface over time, and it just made it kind of, a little bit more forward. But this ball has been a staple in my bag for years now, and like I said, it's very, very close to the Dark Side when it was new. Final thoughts on the DV8 Dark Side. This ball, like I said, I wasn't expecting it to roll well for the one-handed approach just because of how hard DV8's now, advertising it being two-handed, but like I said, I was shocked. I'm gonna have to give this one a fire. I really liked it going down the lane. I feel like I can see myself throwing it when they do get cliffed, and I need to just control the friction bounce, just of how hard a ball is going to come off, and I feel like this ball can do that as one of the best ones out there.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure you like it, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.